I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. If you'll take note that all three supervisors are here this evening. Do we have any public comment on agenda items? No.
I'm going to make a motion to amend tonight's agenda to add under new business, A1 if you will, the Mountville Borough requesting the assistance of the Lancaster Township Fire Police to provide traffic control at the Memorial Day Parade.
Second. And seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So moved. All right. Secretary's report, any issues with last month's minutes? No. Treasurer's report.
Fund balances for the month of April, general fund and investment escrow and liabilities, $7,346,136.48. Highway 8 fund, $1,502,145.23. Capital reserve fund, $1,578,315.95, for a total April balance of $10,426,907.66.
We will file that for audit. Bills.
Monthly bills for April 1st through April 30th. The general fund total, $354,956.61. Escrow fund total, $25,464.01. State highway fund total, $5,911.43. Capital reserve fund total, $461.12. For total paid bills of $386,793.17. I make a motion that we pay the bills.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we pay the bills. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Reports. Lafayette Fire Company, which covers the east side of the township, April 2026, responded to 8 calls for service on our behalf. Lancaster Township Fire Department, west side. Chief.
Fire department, we handled 35 calls this month, 162 to date. Past Saturday, Representative Smith, Wade Hill's office, held a community shredding event paired with a car seat check and installation station. It was well attended by the public. We had a lot of people come through the station there. We've had a significant amount of achievements in the past 30 to 45 days. Of those, we've had 3 members complete their entry-level firefighting training. 3 additional completed state-level Truck 1 program. There are 2 entities nationally that oversee the fire service. It's Pro Board, NPQS, and IFSAC. They are professional standards and accreditations. We had 3 firefighters obtain Firefighter 1 certification, 2 complete Firefighter 2. We had 1 complete the Pro Board Fire Inspector 1. And then we had 1 complete Fire Officer 3 and 1 complete Fire Officer 4. And they are extremely challenging programs to complete. So I'm proud of those guys. I've talked in the past, we have 5 in the EMT program. They successfully completed their classroom portion. They tested successfully, and within the next couple of weeks, they should be testing for their national registry. So that is a very big deal on our part. Something we talked about for the past 4 years, our engine 1 is finally ready to be placed in service. We plan on placing it in service tonight after this meeting. Crew's going to bring it over. Anybody that wishes to look at it, we welcome you. It's a very nice piece. I'd like to thank the supervisors for their support. Without you guys, we would not have the equipment that we have. Lancaster Township by far has some of the best equipment, I think, in the county. So I invite anyone who wants to look at it. I told them to show up about 6:45, so hopefully I'm on par with the time. That's all I have. Any questions from you guys?
Nope. Thank you.
Thank you. Recycling report for April is not available. Safety committee minutes as well as sewer reports, LASA and SLASA reports are available at the township office to be printed for a nominal fee. Also available on the website. Workshop reports, planning and zoning, we do not have. Mr. Donnelly. Township engineer, Ben Weber.
Good evening, everyone. In addition to the report and the number of items that are in the agenda, obviously feel free to ask any questions about those. I do have a couple of other items to point out. One is Bill gave me the okay to change the display here in the lobby through these doors. So anybody in the audience that wants to take a look, or any of you gentlemen that want to stroll by and see a little more history about Burroughs Elementary School. The third incarnation of Burroughs Elementary School is currently being demolished, and the school district gifted us a few of bricks. They're selling them for $5 each and didn't charge us for these that they gave us, a little history archive thing. But there is information about the fourth incarnation that they've currently occupied, as well as the second, which is the School of Cosmetology, designed by Samlin Urban, and the first Burroughs Elementary School, which was along East King Street. And then there's information there about who in the heck Thomas Burroughs was, and why was he booted out of a Lancaster Township Board of Supervisors meeting back in the 1800s. So interesting stories aplenty. Along the lines of Burroughs Elementary School and Rank Mill Road, been working with Devin and Bill on some pedestrian improvements that are desired by the neighborhood. So we've been very deeply involved with the city, with the school district, with Manheim Township, with PennDOT, trying to come up with some better facilities for pedestrians to travel along Rank Mill Road and then north from Rank Mill Road to the McCaskey and Lincoln Middle School campus. There's not a clean, easy, or inexpensive solution to the whole schmear, if you will, but we're taking it bit by bit, and we are in the support of the city's application for grant funding through PennDOT's Automated Red Light Enhancement Grant. So we're working with the city and the other parties on submitting that. And then on Tuesday, May the 19th, Devin and I will be meeting with residents in the area inside of Burroughs Elementary School in their cafeteria at 3:30. So if there are people in the area who wish to come and hear what we're trying to accomplish, they're more than welcome to, but it's primarily focused on the residents in that area that's primarily Lancaster Township that we wanted to keep people informed as best we could. So that's all I have.
Great.
Excuse me. Can you repeat that date?
That's May the 19th.
Thank you.
No questions for me?
Public Works, Devin.
Good evening. So a few things to talk on my report here. We've been continuing to work with the new yard waste facility. Unfortunately, we've hit a little bit of a snag with the NPDES permit. That's a new cycle. Ben can give you a little bit more history than I can on that, but unfortunately we have to go back a little bit, do a little additional testing before we resubmit that permit application. Going through the county conservation district, they recommended us doing that now rather than waiting, so we're in a little bit of a waiting pattern until we get some more results and then submit that. So we're still moving forward, but unfortunately it's a little bit of a setback. A few things to touch on here. I did attend a tree tenders training this 2 Fridays ago. It was a great little training put on by some of the folks at Penn State and others. In addition to that, I also met with the resident that stopped in here and asked me to meet with him a month or two ago with the tree trifold, so we've worked through a few of those things and we'll be getting back to her in a little bit. I've also, the crew's also installed the delineators that we talked about on River and Michelle. So we've gotten a little bit of residential feedback from that, but all in, I think it's been a positive outcome to that. And then a couple other items in here in my report. You can see some photos of the safety improvements we made at Bean Hill Road, specifically at the intersection of Second Lock. We've had a good amount of accidents out there. Over the years, we've installed guide rail at the house. We've doubled up on the stop signs. And now we were to the point where we had to create more visibility, but also let people know that there's a stop sign ahead. Unfortunately, most of the accidents were happening late at night. I don't know how cars are damaging the guide rail as bad as they did and still driving away, but they were. So we installed some rumble strips and some stop sign ahead pavement markers. In addition, while doing that, thanks to John Donnelly and the folks at the cemetery, Melissa Hilton and Joe Castle, who are the new folks there at the cemetery, they worked great with us. They actually owned the old schoolhouse on the other corner, and they were so nice to understand the situation and remove those way overgrown arborvitae bushes that were right there on the corner, and it's really opened up the intersection. I'm hoping to see that a great improvement there. In addition to that, before you tonight is a draft park ordinance update for your consideration for advertisement. I'm happy to take any questions that you guys might have on that. And then a little later on, I'll get with you on an update for the Public Works facility. Unless you guys have any more questions.
None for me.
Not me.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Police, Chief Seibel.
For April, the department responded to 400 calls for service, investigated 26 crashes, 0 fatal crashes. 129 traffic enforcement stops were conducted. 85 of those individuals received citations, 1 got a written warning, and 43 were benefited from a verbal warning. 10 misdemeanor and felony arrests were conducted, 2 of which were DUIs. 5 non-traffic citations were also issued. We did have 1 overdose involving a child eating marijuana. The investigation determined that it was accidental and the child has since recovered. We had 2 motor vehicle theft investigations, and to date, we've given out 55 steering wheel locks to residents in the township. Significant call was a bomb threat on the 22nd at Red Rose Manor on Cottage Avenue. A suspect phoned in a threat to blow the place up. The officers conducted a sweep. We used area bomb dogs to ensure that there were no explosives. And once it was cleared, the residents and staff were allowed to return. And that incident remains under investigation. We continue traffic enforcement efforts to address speeding complaints by residents on Marietta, Columbia, Millersville Pike, Wallbank Road, and Rank Mill Road. For training and professional development of the officers, we had received previously a camera from a grant for evidence crime scene collection, and 3 of the officers completed training and now are versed in how to operate that complicated camera. And that was also funded by the grant. Many of the officers have now completed their legal training required for their annual certifications, and they've begun CPR, AED, first aid, and also firearms qualifications this month, and should be completed by the end of May. And that's all.
Great. Any questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Township Manager, William Lodine.
Just want to announce that the supervisors had 2 executive sessions since the last meeting. The first was on April 30th at 4:15, and that was to interview a police chief candidate. The second was this evening for the same purpose, as well as to discuss a contract issue.
That's it? That's all you got?
Well, I got more as we go along.
Okay. Announcements. Tuesday, May 19th, 2026 is Election Day. Wednesday, May 20th, the Planning Commission meeting is canceled. Monday, May 25th, Memorial Day holiday, the township office is closed. Tuesday, May 26th, the zoning hearing board meeting is canceled. Monday, June 1st, at 6:30 here at 1240 Maple Ave is the Historical Commission meeting, and Monday, June 8th, 2026 at 6 p.m. is our next Board of Supervisors meeting here at 1240 Maple Avenue. There is no old business, planning and zoning business.
Mr. Chair, LTPC 304, Bowson Place Apartments, financial security reduction request. A motion that we deny the request to reduce the entire amount from Kevin Herb, Caldwell Hills and Egan, and we reduce it by $11,430.84 to a new outstanding amount of $114,308.40.
Did you say deny or approve?
Deny
Deny.
the request for entire release.
Is there a reason why we're-
We need to retain, if I'm correct, we need to retain
The minimum 10%.
10%.
Yeah.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to deny the total release and approve a new amount of $114,308.40. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 LTBC 342 South Bend Farm, 2300 Rice Road, for water management site plan, modification and waiver request. I make a motion that we approve a request from Amanda Bell Inc. And Co. for a stormwater management site plan modification request of section 229-36, allowing the project to be processed as a minor land use.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded.
This is one of those times.
Oh, you want
to laugh this, okay?
Now's the time, great.
Just to point out that this is for 100, if I'm incorrect, I think it's a 100-acre farm down along Rice Road. The Her family has a beautiful property down there that they'd like to keep in their family for ongoing generations. We are, as you all know, a unique township in how we're shaped, in the composition of the housing that we have, and as such, we don't have very many 100-acre farms or very many farms at all. So sometimes everything doesn't fit in the clear box of our ordinances, and so I'm really proud of Ben and our planning commission. I'm also happy to have worked with Mr. Herr on trying to find some reasonable solutions to allow him the use of his property and to allow that to continue to be a farm instead of a carved up subdivision. So I'm really proud of the things that we do, and this motion and this waiver is a step in the direction of making sure that that stays like it is and is enjoyed in that way for a long time coming. So, thank you.
Excellent. It's been moved and seconded.
Mhm.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. So moved.
Sorry, we got the name wrong. We'll take care of it.
I was gonna email you about that. So.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Mr. Chair, LTPC 331, 631 Conestoga Boulevard, stormwater management site plan modification and waiver request. I'd make a motion to approve a request from Kimberly Fosnock, number 2, for a stormwater management site plan modification request of section 229-36, allowing the project to be processed as a minor land disturbance permit.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 LTPC 275, I make a motion that we approve a request from Mark Well, WPE Partners LLC, for a waiver subdivision and land development ordinance, section 602.05, .1, what's that? To allow for a streetlight to be installed that does not achieve the minimum illumination maximum uniformity ratio and downward light reflection.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Mr. Chair, LTPC 275, Reserve Windhoek Landing, street right-of-way dedication. I'd make a motion that we approve the acceptance of WPE Partners LLC to dedicate strips of land known as Northfield Drive, North Pier Drive, intended to serve as street right-of-way and strips of land intended to serve as additional street right-of-way for Bean Hill Road, Township number 852.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you very much.
Moving on to new business.
New business. I make a motion that we approve a request to provide fire police to Strasburg Borough on April 20, 2026 from 8 a.m. until close for the annual Strasburg Memorial Day Parade.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the Strasburg Borough request. Township Fire Police, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Do you want to do Mountville too?
Yeah. I make a motion that we approve the request from Mountville Borough requesting the assistance of the Lancaster Township Fire Police to provide traffic control at the Memorial Day Parade on Saturday, May 23, 2026 from approximately 9 a.m. to 12 noon.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the Mountville request. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Mr. Chair, draft ordinance number 2026-04, an ordinance to repeal and replace Lancaster Township's Code Ordinances, Chapter 192, entitled Parks, Public Property, and Recreational Spaces Ordinance. We will review the ordinance.
Review it.
This is where.
Are you speaking again?
If I'm allowed. So we've had a parks ordinance for a very long time now. We haven't revised it or reviewed it. We've had things like drones, vaping, I don't know, countless other things. We've had some inquiries about hunting, and we just decided it was time to go through and take a look at each of our parks, each of our facilities, and then amend accordingly. The ordinance, Devin did almost all the legwork on this. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
We took a 1994 ordinance that was a page and a half and added 10 more pages to it of all the additional things that we've done. I think we've probably added 3 additional parks and umpteen acres of parkland since that ordinance was put in place. So.
It's consistent with our adjoining, with our municipal neighbors, and reviewed and approved by the solicitor.
Okay.
This one's different.
We need to vote on that one.
Okay.
We're voting B.
The pilot program for municipal.
Do we vote? We didn't vote on the ordinance yet, did we? I think I interrupted the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, so are we approving the ordinance
I hope so.
itself? Okay.
Yeah.
All those in, well, did we second? It was not seconded.
Oh, I apologize.
This is just the
Yeah.
draft, is it not?
Yeah, it's the draft,
It's the
right,
draft.
yeah,
Oh,
okay.
it's a draft. So-
Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm done.
You talking?
I wanted to talk on the next one, but now I think I've blown my chance.
Pilot program for municipal selection of preferred EMS agencies for 9/11 basic life support, BLS, and advanced life support, ALC responses. I make a motion that we authorize the township manager to enter into an agreement with the Lancaster County's 911 center to participate in a pilot program for the dispatching of EMS services.
Second.
Then moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Would you like to speak, even though we've already voted?
I'll be brief. The way that 911 dispatches ambulances is different in terms of mutual aid than the way that they're dispatched for fire and police. They're interested in changing that. They want to dip their toe in the water and have asked that Lancaster Township and Lancaster City, we're central, we have the most municipal neighbors, serve as the participants in that pilot program. So tonight's decision was for us to enter into it. We will work over the next month or two with the details and coordinate with LEMSA, the county dispatch, as well as the other ambulance services that surround us come up with a scheme that works. But I think this is a good step forward to ensuring the safety. Volunteerism is down with all the ambulance services, and they're having a hard time keeping staffing up. So the more mutual aid we can promote and help, the safer folks are going to be.
Great. Resolution.
I'd make a motion that we table resolution 2026-05, resolution to establish regulations for campgrounds in Lancaster Township and have it reviewed by our Township Planning Commission and then returned to us.
Great.
I'll second that.
Do we need to move? We don't need to vote on that. So we'll send resolution 20.
Yeah, we can,
You can just table it.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
good.
26-05 to the planning and zoning. And moving on to the public works facility presentation.
So hopefully this will be the last time I speak tonight, but we've talked about, we recognize the need for a new public works facility. We previously bid to have that facility built based on a funding scheme that we thought was that was well within the money that we've saved for the project, and with a small mortgage and some minor financing. We went out to bid expecting to spend about $6 million, and the lowest bids came in excess of $10 million. We reached out, and our architect reached out to the building companies that bid on the project, the subcontractors that bid on the project. We looked at bid results of other projects similar, and what we've seen across the board is a rapid increase in construction costs. We think that's over the last 6 months to a year due to the uncertainties around tariffs, rising oil prices as to what they were maybe 4 years ago, and that's being exacerbated by what's occurred over the last few months. And then the subsequent increase in wages, which has trickled down to construction labor. After the bids came in, the board made, I think, a very responsible decision not to do the project. And that's bought us time to then go back and revise the design to work with the architect. And we think that we're able to trim $2 million off of the original bid. We believe that we can get this project in at $8 million, but $8 million is still $2 million more than we had hoped when we set out on this endeavor a few years ago. That is going to necessitate a tax increase in order for us to build a project of that size. So what we discussed and thought would be appropriate is instead of this being mostly an internal process, that we want to make sure that we're as transparent as possible, that we let folks know the state, and that's what we'll talk about tonight, the state of our current public works facility. I hope next month to talk about the new building and what the finances around the entire project will be. We at some point will decide, I hope, to put this out to bid when it's appropriate, and we'll have then yet another meeting to decide whether or not we award the bid. So that gives us 3 or 4 touch points for the public to participate, both to observe, to ask questions, and for us to have some thoughtful dialogue and discussion, so that when we get to December and January, if it becomes necessary this year or next year to roll out a tax increase, that we've been thorough in having a public dialogue about the process. So that's the intention of doing this tonight. We're going to kick it off, and I've asked Devin to prepare kind of an overview of the obstacles that we face. I know this will be, you guys have been through this a couple times already, but the folks at home watching on YouTube and the folks here in the audience may not really appreciate how well we do with an aging building. That was really nice. I don't know what that was. So without further ado.
Great. Appreciate that. So I just want to start off by letting everybody know the location. So this is 1357 Meadow Creek Lane, for those of you who have been to the planning building, which is located kind of right where the T is there in Current. And then this is the Woody Waste Facility. So our facility is located up on top of the hill there at 1357. This is the maintenance building, the salt shed, When I mention the lower building, this is what I'm talking about, or when I mention an old foundation, this is the area that I would be talking about here. So first I'm going to talk a little bit about the interior spaces. This is inside the building. Some of the things that my crews work around day in and day out, including myself and Tony. One of those too far, Tony. Back up. There we go. So to the left, you'll see this is our back room storage. As you can see, it's very tight stuff, kind of a little bit over the place. We have to store our rollers in there in the wintertime because it's the only warm storage we have. You can't keep water-filled machines outside in the cold. So we have to get 2 rollers in there amongst all the signs. To the left there, in that little area above that hose, is where all of our guys reface all of our road signs that we make, and then store them above there. So very tight quarters to do work, and we have to move things in and out of there on a daily basis just to do everyday items that we work on. To the right would be our office space. This is where I'm located. Tony's on the left, and then Zach, our foreman's on the right. We have 3 guys. We're going to have 1 office space. So as you can imagine, it gets a little bit cumbersome there as well. Tony, to the next slide. Here we have our shop space. Some of the things I wanted to highlight from a safety standpoint. So just so that everyone knows, this building was built in 1992. When it was built, we had a crew of all in, full and part-time, 5 guys. We now have a crew of roughly 12, full and part-time. So just to make a little sense of the manpower that's within this building. So the far left is our maintenance pit area. And again, this is all one big open space. So that maintenance pit area was built on an angle to a garage door. It makes it very difficult to get in and out of. Maneuvering vehicles over there is a safety challenge. My guys do it all the time. Not only that, but just getting in and out of there is a safety hazard. We have that old rickety steel ladder, as you can imagine, with oil in your boots. That leads to some safety issues as well that we have to manage. The middle photo is our tool shed, which is just across the shop from there, with above that, which is a 2x6 built storage above that, a little mezzanine that we built for a little bit of storage. It's not ideal. The ladder going up to that mezzanine is right here, made out of steel. In 1992, they welded it up and it was good to go.
And that's a heater above, right?
Yep, and then we have the heaters and the exhaust fans are up here. This is a heater up here. There's 6 of them throughout the building. And then this is actually doubles as our welding shop or welding space. And as you see, there's a truck parked there, which welding and trucks don't go good together, so we have to pull that out every time we want to weld or grind on something. So as you can imagine, it's a little bit, I just keep being repetitive, but it's cumbersome. We have to move things in and out all the time. Next slide, Tony. So as far as the employee amenities, to the left is our break lunchroom. Like I said, when we're fully staffed, we have 12 guys. In a small lunchroom like that with a 6-man table and chairs. I know Bill was over there just recently. It's tight in there. Very tight, very awkward to maneuver around, to get your lunch, to get in the microwave, to get in the refrigerator is difficult. And then to the right is our locker room space. The lockers are to the back here, and we only have 8 of those. So some of the part-time guys don't get a locker, but we maneuver around the best that we can, and we're adapting the best that we can.
Devin, did you use Zillow to take these photos? Because these look a lot bigger than what I'm familiar with when I go over there.
Yeah, Tony did a great job zooming in, taking these photos.
They look very spacious compared to what they really are.
They are not spacious at all. It's very tight over there, but I appreciate that, Ben. Next slide, Tony. So then we have access to the facility. Both sides are gated. To the left is our main access off of 1353. That's the planning and zoning, Cape Cod, Ben's luxury office there. Some of the issues that we have here are deliveries, getting in and out. The gate is on its last leg. We're doing everything we can to make it work, but the software is obsolete. You just can't update it anymore, so I can't log new people into it, so I have to give them code, the old codes, and it's troublesome. And then the access in for trucks, it's not wide enough in the front. So with the new plan, we were looking at making that entrance wider. To the right, this is the gate for the yard waste facility, but that gate no longer functions. It was flooded out and is just no longer usable anymore. So a couple of items here, the salt shed. Over the years, everyone knows salt's very corrosive. So on the left there, you can see just how we have some things stored outside still. Some trailers. There are brine tanks, not under roof, and we have some buckets and stuff for our equipment stored outside. To the bottom, right in here, it's hard to see, but that is the tension rods for the concrete are actually deteriorating to the point where they're popping the concrete off. Up here, you can see how the salt, our township has grown a lot since 1992, so we use a lot more road salt. So unfortunately, we have to keep a lot more on bay, and we have to keep that under roof over the winter, so we have to push that up a lot higher than we should, but we want to make sure the roads are safe for our residents. So unfortunately, some of that salt gets up on that plywood, and it's created a pushing effect and rotting that wood out. And it's just an unfortunate situation. The building just isn't big enough anymore. We've outgrown it. And then this to the far left is just showing a few issues that we deal with. As I said, the building's aging. It's over 30 years old, so we always have roof leaks, issues like that. This far left is just showing a roof leak that was repaired, but the insulation got damaged, and we just haven't gotten there yet. To the far right, this is the shop floor. The shop floor has drains in it because our wash bay is inside the main shop space, and that wash bay, all that water and grease and salt debris has to go through a system before it goes into the sewer. So there's these drains through the floors. They're very problematic because they clog easily, and we have to have clients come out there and jet them twice a year just to keep them open, as well as they're old metal and they're rotting away. And then parts of the concrete floor in the shop space are starting to pop from the salt debris and everything from over the years. And then that middle photo is the foundation for the original building that was on the land when the township took it over, to my knowledge. It was used for a salt shed back in the 80s. And since then, that was, we had some structural engineers come in. That building was deemed structurally unsound. So we were lucky enough to be able to sell the building and have it decommissioned or removed and profit from it, approximately $7,000. This was back at the height of the pandemic. So we were able to profit from that a little bit, luckily, and not have to pay for the demo. Next slide, Tony. And then this is just a little building of the interior of that lower building, which we do plan to retain. But as you can see, that lower building is stuffed to the brink. We keep trucks and trailers and equipment in there, lawnmowers, chippers, all our recycle bins are stocked in there. And these are things that the guys have to pull everything out every morning to get anything they want to get. And it just adds time to their day. And we can't be as efficient as we would like to be.
You ready for this one, Ben?
And then this picture is pre-winter storm. As you can see, we had all of the plows and everything ready to go. I know this is we have the street sweeper there, but once again, we have to keep these water-filled vehicles in a heated facility or they will freeze and cause additional damage. So we have to try and squeeze everything in as possible. Unfortunately, this is a every winter occurrence for us. Or if we have a big construction project going on, we have to squeeze everything in there so the guys can just go about their day and then grab the trucks and go down below and get everything else, and it just becomes a little bit of hectic. Here you can kind of see the layout that I'm talking about with that oil pit and associated with the garage door and how awkward that would be to pull vehicles in and out of there. It takes two spotters, one in front, one in back, and then a guy operating the vehicle just to get someone in there to do a basic oil change. So that's the building there. I think that was all I had, Tony, if I'm not mistaken.
You do have a little bit.
And then we just had sketches for the new building, which we can talk next month. So unless you guys have any questions for me.
Does anyone in the audience have questions?
When do you foresee taxes going up and what percentage? Do you have any idea?
That's for next month, and I don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea how much money we need to generate, but at what pace we generate that will depend on financing, the bid results, and how long the mortgage we want to take. So
Yeah.
that'll be a decision for the supervisors.
When will we know for sure if when it's going to be done? I mean, for it to be built after, like, next meeting or 2 meetings when it's voted on, or?
Well, I think the plan would be for next meeting to talk about the design for the potential new building. And if we have time, we'll talk a little bit about financing. If not, we'll push financing off till July. Depends how much time it takes to get through all that. And then we'd have to put it out to bid for at least a month and then decide whether or not we wanted to award the bid based on how the bids came back. So we're talking at the quickest, a 3 or 4 month process before we would award a bid. And we need things to settle down a little bit geopolitically before we would even, I would recommend that we go out to bid, because that uncertainty continues to remain in the system and drives up cost. So
Yeah.
I wish I could be more specific,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Devin. Do we have any public comment on non-agenda items? Just your name and your address.
Patrick Oldbach. My first question is for, I guess, the chief of police. We talked about all of your stops and everything you had this past month.
Yes.
When are we going to address the scooters and the e-bikes on Abbeville Road, Columbia Avenue, Millersville Pike, Southwest End Avenue? And what happens if I'm driving in the afternoon, when the sun's setting, and they come darting out and I hit somebody real bad? Is it my fault that I'm the motorist that hit somebody without a license, dressed in gray and black? It's just, they're everywhere this year.
To answer your first question, the officers are enforcing the vehicle code because there are restrictions in place for the electric, you're talking about the electric e-bikes and the electric dirt bikes.
Scooters, everything.
Yeah. So
When
they
did
take,
that start? When did they start enforcing?
since we began, myself personally, I've been enforcing that since we began in January of 2025. Now, we can't get everybody.
No, I mean,
Right.
the ones that I'm seeing are, it's like they're using it for mode of transportation every day.
I can talk to you in detail after the meeting.
Okay,
Specifics.
it's no big deal, I'm just saying,
Right.
it's noticeable this year, more so than last year.
They address it when they can.
Yeah. Okay. I just wondered.
Sure.
Anyone else?
Next question's for Ben. You said you work with PennDOT on safety issues like Bean Hill Road and making things better for motorists.
Tonight I was referring to Rank Mill Road.
Okay. There's an issue out on, you pull out of Water Valley Road. If you look to your left, that cliff was never shaved down when they built that mill race.
We're familiar with the issue, yes.
Yeah.
And we take it up with PennDOT when there are concerns that we can't handle, but I believe we do some vegetative clearing there to do the best we can.
Okay, the rocks are still have to be shaved. They did a good job up on Honeysuckle.
Well,
That
we're
works.
not in a position to do grading within PennDOT right-of-way without getting their permission.
Okay,
We've notified PennDOT of the concerns. They've evaluated it based on speed and
yeah, there were accidents up there at Water Valley. And somebody put a white line out to where you're supposed to stop, when you're on Water Valley Road, and it's not right. You can't see, but.
we've taken a run at PennDOT as many times as we
Yeah.
can to try to
Okay.
get them to take action out there.
Yeah.
And they've determined that that situation meets their standard.
Okay. Also, if you meet them again, I've been mowing to the right of Honeysuckle Lane and to the left of Rice Road and also before the bridge. I'm kind of like resigning, so let them know. They'll have to take care of that, because I wasn't sure, last I heard from you, Ben, the township doesn't work on the state roads, but you're saying you're taking care of the vegetation.
That's right.
Okay.
If I may, we are responsible for the visibility of our local roads where they meet the state road. So that's why we take care of the vegetation there. And the sight lines, I personally been out there and looked at them. They meet the requirements set forth by PennDOT. And that's the determination that PennDOT made when we met with them multiple times out there. So just wanted to clear that up, that we are responsible for the visibility. That's why we adjusted that stop bar that you mentioned, the white line. We adjusted that when we were out there several years back, and made those visibility changes there to that intersection.
You've been back there lately?
Have I been back there this
That
year?
white line, have you stopped there and looked to your left?
Not lately, but I do know I've received a phone call. We were going to get out there and do the vegetation stuff like Ben had just mentioned here next week. We
Okay.
posted on the schedule
Yeah.
to clear that vegetation. But I know PennDOT does their twice annual mowing of their right-of-ways throughout the township. And a lot of times I end up having to call them and tell them, where are you guys at? We had problems. And 2 weeks later they're here. But unfortunately, we're at PennDOT's.
Okay, well, I'm just letting you know, I won't be doing it, so just
Appreciate that.
that, and you mentioned drones. Does the township use a drone?
No, that was regulations for how people use the parks. I was just using that as an example of some technology that's changed that we've had to include in our park regulations.
Oh, okay.
We're not using drones.
Last year, I had a big gray drone flying around above me in the backyard.
It wasn't us.
What happens if you knock one of them down if you don't know whose it is? Is it a big deal?
I have no idea.
Okay. My last question is, I got a call from my cousin's wife. I guess there's weed police out now from the township, checking on people's yards. There are?
We do yard inspections every week to the grass ordinance.
April 14th? This year?
April 14th, what?
That's when they're out checking people's yards for weeds, gardens?
We do them weekly, starting in the beginning of April, sir.
Okay.
Not for weeds, though, like,
Or grass ordinance.
yes, just for unmowed areas,
Okay,
overgrown.
she was pointed out that some of her pollinators were out of order. They shouldn't have been there.
That wasn't us.
Wasn't. Okay.
Checking with pollinators.
Pollinators, Canadian thistle?
I don't know. We have a grass and weed ordinance that we enforce. It's complaint based. It's also observation based. We go around, if there's a problem, we notify people, ask them to knock down either their weeds or grass if it gets too high, and where they don't, we mow them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know the specifics of what you're talking about, but we have a list, and when the zoning officer is back, if you want to cross-check that list, you can, but we've done that for the entirety of my time here, so it's not.
How long have you been here?
Since 2008.
Was that before Southern Village was completed?
Oh, yeah. Southern Village isn't complete now.
The far end of Southern Village used to be an open cornfield. I called in a complaint for there, and it was let go for like 3-4 years. And it turned into like an area of like 2 football fields of Canadian thistle. Now it's covered with macadam and trees, but the problem is that stuff, it's very invasive. I don't think the residents should be responsible for stuff that's let go on like building sites.
Okay?
So I just want to have that keep in your mind, you know.
Okay. Sure.
All right, no more. We're adjourned.